Hello everyone and welcome back to Programming Fields. I'm your host Umesh and today I came up with one very important example in Laravel coding playlist. In this video, we are going to implement Laravel file upload with validation. In our Laravel interview preparation series, we already covered up the form validation in Laravel using Laravel form validation. If you don't know about the form validation in Laravel, then you can check out my previous video in Laravel interview preparation series. I will provide that link in the description box and that will be more helpful to you. But today in this video, we will see the image and file upload. Also, we will cover the multiple file uploads with validation as well. So bear with me and keep watching. Okay, so I have navigated to the system and here I have opened the terminal and created a new Laravel project. So my project is created. So here I will open this project in VS Code editor. So I will navigate to this project and open it in VS Code. So this project is opened and in the next step we will configure the database. As of now we don't have any database connected with this project. Okay, so navigate to the database and here simply I will create a new database just like Laravel file upload. Okay, so the DB is created and simply I will open this database here. Yeah, so as of now we don't have any tables. Now switch back to .env file and here I will configure that database credential. Laravel file upload and my DB password is root. Yeah, so the database is connected. So let me run this application first. Yeah, the application is started. Let me navigate to the browser and I will access localhost 8000. Yeah, so here we have installed this Laravel 10 with PHP 8.2 as. Alright, now in the next step we will design a basic form for uploading file. So let's switch back to VS Code and inside this resources folder we have this views, and inside this views folder I will create one blade file, that is file upload .blade, and inside this blade file I will be using bootstrap 5. So I already have the VS Code extension to import bootstrap snippet, so simply I will type bs5 and here it is generated the basic skeleton having bootstrap CSS and JavaScript for me. Let me replace this title with Laravel 10 file upload. Alright, and here I don't require this header and footer, this is fine, and that's it. And instead of this main I will simply create one div class container. Yeah, and let's design our basic form. We'll have one file input and submit button. Okay, so let's create that. So I'll be creating row and column and I will give this margin of auto, and inside this column of 6 I will create one card and then card header. Okay, and there will be card body, and at last we will have one card footer. Okay, and just above this row I will create form and I will define the form action. Let's suppose this route will be file.store. okay, and this method will be post, and we will have this CSRF token here. All right, now let me just align it, and here we will have this form closing tag. Now inside this card header I will simply create one card title as card title, and here I will give one title as Laravel file upload with validation. All right, so here I will provide Laravel 10. Let me dock this window first. Yeah, and now inside this card body I will create one div that will wrap form input. So we'll pass form group, and inside this form group I will create one label for file. Okay, and I will give a strict mark, so I will pass a spin class text danger, and that's it. And we will have label closing, and just after this label we will create one input type file, and we will give class as form control, and name will be file, and we can pass id as file. That's it. And inside this card footer I will create one submit button as button type submit, and class will be btn primary. That's it, and name will be upload. Okay, so this basic form is ready. Now let's render this form. So in order to render this view we required a route, but before creating a route we will create a controller, so that route function will be triggered from the controller itself. So switch back to terminal, and here we will create one controller as file controller. Okay, hit enter, and yes, controller is created. So if we'll navigate to HTTP controllers, and here we have this file controller. So we will create one function as index, and inside this we will return view as file upload. That's it. Now search for web.php file, and here we will create one route ::get, and inside this we will provide one endpoint as file, and here in the second parameter we will have to pass the controller name. So here I will pass file controller : class, and the next will be function as index. Okay, now we will have to import this controller at this namespace. So we will write app HTTP controllers and file controller. Yeah, this is done. Now simply copy this endpoint and navigate to the browser, and here we will switch to that endpoint. Okay, so this is throwing route file.store is not defined. Yes, because as of now we have not created this form action route inside this web.php. So let's create another route, but before this I want to wrap these routes in route controller group. So I will provide route controller, and here I will write file controller : class, and we will have this group function. Okay, so that we will avoid writing this controller name again and again. Okay, now simply move this route inside this controller group, and here we will remove this array and controller name. This is done, and now we will create another route as post, and this will be our file upload. So we will provide a store endpoint, and here we will create one function as store, and I will provide the name route as file.store. That's it. Now let's create this function inside this controller. So create another function store, and we will provide request object. Okay, so this is done. Now switch back to browser and let's refresh this page. So we have this basic form. Now let me just give some padding from top. So here I will provide container from top and bottom of 5, and inside this card I will pass shadow class. Now switch back to browser, refresh it. Yeah, this is fine. So the basic form is created. Now we have to handle this file upload event. So for that we will have to navigate to this controller, and here we will just put request all. Okay, so now if I will try to submit this form, here we can see we have this file object. So now in the very first step we will have to create validation rule in order to validate the uploaded file. So let's switch back to code, and here we will create validation rule provided by Laravel. So I will call this validate function, and inside this function I will pass this request object, and in the second parameter we will have to define the attribute for which we will create validation rule. So here we have the input name as file, and we will provide required attribute. So firstly we are going to write validation rule to check the uploaded file is an image. Laravel provides image validation attribute, and that will allow only image to be uploaded. And next Laravel provides MIMEs. So this MIMEs will check the uploaded image extension. Here we will allow the image extension just like JPG, PNG, JPEG, SVG, and GIF, just like this. Okay, now let's switch back to browser. Let me refresh it, and now if I will submit, you can see it is not allowing us to submit this form. Yeah, so this validation is working. Now we will have to capture this validation error messages inside this view. Here just after this input I will check the error directive has file. Inside this p tag I will pass text danger class, and I will print this error message. Now let's refresh it, and if I will submit, then you can see this triggered the file field is required. Okay, so now if I will try to submit any file, that's doc file, and if I will try to submit, you can see this triggered this file field must be an image. That means it is not allowing us to upload other file types apart from image. Okay, so this is good. Now let's process this file upload. So here in order to capture this file from this form, we have to define ENC type. So this ENC type will be multi-part form data. Now let's switch back to controller, and here we will check if $request file has file attribute, then I will dump simply request file. Now let's refresh and let's try to submit. So this time I will upload image, and you can see this dumped file object. This MIME type is image/png, and this is the original file name. Okay, and this path is the temp location created by Laravel. So now let's process the file upload. Okay, so in order to handle file upload, Laravel provides different function. If we will navigate to the Laravel official documentation, search for Laravel, and here search for file storage. Yes, so inside this storing files, we have this file uploads documentation. So inside this file uploads thing, you will see the Laravel provides a store function. So we will discuss the different functions like a storeAs, move, and storePublicly. And we will try to use all those functions to understand the difference between them. And here, if you will scroll down, then we can see we can get original file name, original extension, hash name, and we can store files locally and in the third-party storage just like S3 bucket. So as of now, we will be uploading files in the local system. Okay, so now let's try to upload this file just like $request file, and here we will capture this file name and we will use this store function. So inside this store function, we will have to define one directory. This store function provided by the Laravel file system refers to this storage folder. So this storage folder is available in this root of the project. And here, if you will expand this, then inside this we have this app and public folder. Okay, so this store function basically expects one parameter as folder name. So by default, we have this storage and app. Okay, so I will have to provide a folder name just like uploads. That's it. So by default, it will create this uploads directory inside this storage app folder. Now let's come to the browser and simply reload it. So yeah, this file is uploaded. If we will see inside this app, then we can see it created uploads folder, and here it generated this hash file name and this file is uploaded. So here I will capture this response as $response, and if we get this response, then I will simply echo, or I will simply return back to Blade, return back with success, and one success message as file is uploaded. Alright, else it will return back with error, failed, sorry, file is not uploaded. Yeah, that's it. Now let's capture this session in the Blade file. So here in this Blade, just above this card, I will create one alert component provided by Bootstrap. Alert success. Okay, and inside this I will create one button class close, and type will be button. Okay, and we will have data bs dismiss as alert. So before capturing this response, I will put one if condition, just like if session has success, means if the file is uploaded, then I want to display this alert success. Else if session has error, then I will simply copy this and paste it inside this else if condition, and we will have this end if block. That's it. And here after this button, I want to display session get success. So this is done. Similarly for this error field. Yes, now switch back to browser, go back, refresh this page, and let's try to upload another file, and we can see file is uploaded. Okay, but there is issue with the icon something. I think I missed some class as btn close. This is btn close. Let me refresh it, and yes, this is done. Now we can see these uploaded files are here. So as of now, we have used this store function, and this store function basically generates as file name, and inside this store we have created one directory as uploads. So our file is uploaded in this storage app and inside this uploads folder. Now we will see another method just like storeAs. So simply I will copy and paste it and I will comment the above line. So this time instead of this store, I will use storeAs. I will give one comment as storeAs function. Okay, so this storeAs function expects two parameters. The first parameter will be directory name in which this file will be uploaded, and the second parameter will be file name. Actually, the difference between a store and a storeAs is the store function generates has file name, but this storeAs function provides the flexibility to rename the file before it is uploaded. Just for the second parameter, we will have to create a file name from this actual file. Okay. So here I want to generate the file name using timestamp followed by actual file extension. So for that I will use this request file, and Laravel provides get client original extension function. So this function will basically return the extension of the file, and I want to customize it with the timestamp. So I will call this time function, and then I will concatenate with this dot. Yes, so our file name will be timestamp dot extension, just like this. If I will put dd to check this file name, now let me check this. So I will upload another file, and we can see this generated timestamp file name. So this will be unique for every file which are going to upload in this series. Okay, so we received this file name from here. Now inside this storage function, I will pass this file name as a second argument. Now let's come to the browser and reload it. So again, this file is uploaded. Now if we will see, our uploaded file is timestamp.extension here. So here we got the difference between a store and a storeAs. Inside this store function, we cannot rename the actual file name. It automatically generates the hash file name and it will store inside this directory. But in this storeAs function, we can customize the file name when it is uploaded. Now we will see store publicly. Laravel provides a store publicly function. So that function will be used when the file permission is private by default. Okay, so let's suppose when you are uploading a file in S3 bucket, and in that situation the file permission is given private. So in order to use that file as publicly, Laravel provides a store publicly function, just like a store publicly. So this function will be similar to a store. In this case, the uploaded file name will be hash name. Okay, and similar to this store publicly, Laravel provides a store publicly as. So this function will be similar to a storeAs, but the difference will be this store publicly as function will have the public accessible. For more information, if we will check out to the Laravel documentation and just scroll down, and you will see file visibility. So the file visibility will be public or private. So in case if the S3 bucket has, if you configured the driver to S3 bucket instead of local, then in that case the file permission will be private. So for that we can use this store publicly and store publicly as function. So that will provide public visibility to the uploaded files. Now we will see one more function as move, because generally in PHP we saw that move uploaded file function that generally moves file from one directory to another. Okay, so the difference between a store and move is the move function will be used to move the uploaded file from one directory to another, but the store function basically stores the file in a specific directory. So here instead of this store function we can use move function as well. So here the move function will basically move file from one directory to another. So inside the Laravel, the move function will moves the file from temp directory to the specified directory. So by default, it will move to this public directory, because in Laravel, this public directory is publicly accessible. So here we will use our $request file, and here we will use this move function. So this move function will expect two parameters. The first parameter will be directory name, just like I want directory name as files, and here the second parameter will be file name. So basically this will move the file from temp directory to this files folder with the file name. Okay, now let me just capture this response and let me comment this one. This is done. Switch back to browser, refresh this, and here let me upload this file. and yes, this file is uploaded. Now let's check where it is uploaded. So we can see inside this public it generated files folder, as we defined folder name as files, and inside this files folder it moved the file with the timestamp name. So this is done. We saw the difference between move function, a store function, a storeAs, store publicly, and a store publicly as. So by default, this public directory will be visible for everyone and it can be directly accessible. But now the problem is with this storage. So inside this storage uploads folder, we can't access directly. So for that, we will have to link this storage to this public directory so that these uploaded files can be directly accessible through this public directory. So Laravel provides file system inside this config directory. So if you scroll down, then here you will see file systems configuration, and here multiple options like disk, as local, public, and S3. So we can configure these disks to upload the files. So if you scroll down, then here you will see there is symbolic link option. Basically this symbolic link will connect this storage folder to this public folder. So after this symbolic link, we will be able to access this storage directory directly inside this public folder. Okay, so this will create basically a shortcut here. So for that, as you will see inside this links array, by default it created public path, and this public path basically refers to this public directory available inside this root of the project. And here it defined one folder name as storage, and this storage path basically refers to this storage directory, and whatever coming inside this app public inside this storage folder, just like a storage app and public, by default it will link to that public and a storage directory. So for that I will create one more symbolic link as public path. So inside this public path I want to link this a storage uploads folder as uploads. Okay, this will refer to a storage path, and here I will write app/uploads. Whatever we have inside app uploads, that will be automatically moved to this public path, and inside this public path it will automatically create one uploads folder. So as of now inside this public folder we have only one folder, that is files, as we used that for move function, and when we will link this storage, then this uploads directory will create one symbolic link with these all files inside this public folder. Now we will have to trigger one command provided by Laravel file system. So simply navigate to terminal, and here we will write php partition storage : link. When you will hit enter, then you can see it created two symbolic link, as we defined two symbolic links inside this links array. And now inside this public folder you will able to see we have now a storage folder and uploads folder, and you will see inside this uploads folder we have the list of uploaded files as we uploaded inside this storage directory. Okay, now we will be able to access these all files uploaded inside the storage folder through this public directory. Similarly, we can create n number of directory inside this storage, and that can be linked with this public folder. So as of now we have implemented the image upload only. Now let's see if we want to upload the file. So for that we will have to change this validation rule from image and mimes to file. Okay, let's see how we will do this. So as of now let me comment this one, and I will write file, and here again this will be required, and now I want this mimes as PDF, doc, docx, docs, and xls and xlx. Okay, so basically this will allow only these mimes type file to be uploaded instead of this image mimes. Okay, now let's save it, and here let's refresh this page, and now let's try to upload image again. If we'll submit, then you can see this thrown error. The file field must be a file of type PDF, doc, docs, xls, and all. Now the image is not allowed to be uploaded. Now let's try to upload some PDF file. Okay, so this time I have chosen this PDF, and if I will try to upload, you can see this file is uploaded, and now we will able to see this uploaded file inside this public directory because we have used this move function, so it will directly move the uploaded file inside this files folder. Similarly, we can use a store function as well. So let me just enable this as of now. Let me comment this. Okay, now let's try to upload again. Okay, so this time again I will upload this PDF. Okay, so this file is uploaded. So this time the file is stored inside this storage uploads directory. So if we will navigate to this storage uploads, if we'll expand this, we can see we have this uploaded PDF. And similarly, if we will check out inside this public uploads, then that file is automatically linked here. So after executing this storage link, you won't have to trigger this storage link again and again. Once this symbolic link is created, it will automatically copy that file inside this public directory. So this is the best feature of Laravel file system. So we saw image and file upload both. Now we will see how we can upload multiple files, because as of now we have seen only single image and single file upload. So in order to change this to multiple file upload, initially we will have to allow multiple file to be uploaded from this file input. Okay, so here we will use multiple attribute as HTML provides multiple in order to select multiple files, and here inside this name we will have to make it array so that it can store multiple files. Okay, now let's come to the controller, and here this validation won't work. For the multiple file validation, we will have to modify this validation rule as well. So here we will write a different validation rule. So initially we will change this name, because we are going to upload multiple files. The name is referring to single file. Okay, so I will change this to files, and here inside this controller I will write validation rules for files. So I will have to write validation rules in two different segments. Just like initially the files will be required, okay, and we are going to upload list of files in the form of array. So we will have to write files dot asterisk. That means it will refer all the files, and this can be again required, and this will be names PDF, just like CSV, Excel, XLX, doc, and docx docs. And also we can put max uploaded file size, just like max, and it can be a maximum 2 MB, just like 2048 KB. So here I will have to just put request files, because we have renamed the name attribute to files. So for multiple files upload validation error message, this is not going to work. So let's comment it for now, and we will write in another way. So Laravel provides error directives. So we will be using if errors has files dot asterisk, means if there will be multiple file errors, then for that we will capture in for each loop, and we will iterate those error messages individually. So here we will write $errors get files dot asterisk as error, and for each. This is done, and better we can wrap it inside one ul tag ul-li, so all the error messages will be displayed in the list item. So here I will simply write li, and inside this li I will print error, and this will return in the form of array. So we will have to capture 0 index. This is done. Wrap this in class called text danger. Again, if I will check, yes, so this thrown error messages for every individual files. Now again there is one issue. At the first time when I will try to submit, then again this won't throw error. So for that we have to enable this single file validation, because we have written validation error messages in two ways. So we have defined the file validation rules as files as required and files dot asterisk to check MIMEs type. So let's refresh it, and if we will submit, then this thrown required field validation. Now let's come to the controller, and here we will handle the multiple files so that we can upload all these selected files in respective directory. As of now we are uploading single file. So in order to capture the multiple files, we will have to iterate the loop. So again inside this request files, we will have to change these two files, because we are getting files as array, and here we will write for each request files as $file, and inside this for each loop we will move this store function, and regarding this response we will have to define just above this response in array, and this will capture array. So as of now we have specified the uploaded files in the storage folder as uploads. So let me remove these files first, so we will able to understand. Okay, so I have removed those uploaded files. Now let's come to the browser, refresh it. Now let's select first images, and if I will try to submit, then this thrown error. Okay, now I will choose PDF. It's like I have two PDF here. So I have selected two PDF files, and if I will try to submit, then this thrown error store on null. Okay, so instead of request file, we will have to capture this from $file because we have iterated this array in the form of object now, and refresh it again. Okay, so this thrown error in the next line because again here we were fetching the file from request file that does not exist now. Okay, now let's refresh back. This returned a success message. So if we'll check back, we have now 4 files. So by using this way, we can handle multiple files. So I hope this tutorial will make you sense. In the next tutorial, we will see how we can save the uploaded file name into the database, and from there we will list out the uploaded files, and also we will implement the delete functionality. Congratulations, you have successfully learned how to implement secure file uploads in Laravel with validation. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell, and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you and see you in the next video.